I'm gonna stop reading the comments on my videos. Okay, that's not true. I want to stop, though. I want to never look at my YouTube comment section again. I want to nuke the feature from the YouTube Studio tab. I want to turn all the comments off. Not that it's all bad. A good portion of my commenters offer genuine opinions and discussions. Sometimes it's thought-provoking, other times it's a different perspective I can respect, and sometimes it's a flat-out disagreement with me, but it's presented in a way that respects me and shows that they actually listened to what I said! It's too early in the video for me to be losing my temper already, but the point is while I have many good comments, from disagreements to dissections to expansions and compliments that boost my ever-growing ego, there's also some truly thick people who apparently spend my videos shoving crayons up their nose and staring at their sister in a bathrobe, because they will far too often argue against shit I never said, or they'll shoot over the point in the video so hard and end up among the stars in the fucking Andromeda galaxy, getting fucking Mandela effects from videos they just finished watching 5 seconds ago. Don't believe me? Go to my Oddstarver video I posted recently and look in the comment section. So many fucking downright morons asking me why I hate odds or why I'm mad that people agree with odds. Like, okay, sure, that's what I said, 100%. The point totally wasn't, hey guys, you should think for yourselves and only use creators' opinions to inform your own and not dictate it. I totally wasn't calling out drones of sheeple who don't have the capacity to think for themselves or anything. I was truly rubbing my gloved hands together to make fun of Dead by Daylight community's most famous and universally loved creator. That's exactly what was happening in that video, for fuck's sakes. There is one thing I've agreed with from some of the more brainless comments on that video, though. I should not have called it the Oddstarver problem. No. Because as it turns out, not thinking for yourself is only a symptom of one of the biggest problems in the Dead by Daylight community. The Dead by Dicklight community fucking sucks at things like balanced discussions and commentary. When it comes to balanced discussions, there's a lot of inherent bias that goes on. This is nothing new. I've mentioned in the past that I was an Overwatch coach, and a lot of people in competitive games tend to try to discuss balance from only their perspective of their particular elo. Dead by Delta Dawn, What's That Flower You Have On's community has an additional layer to the bias problem. Outside of elos, you also have the two sides, killer and survivor, and there is a disturbingly large group of people who only play or mainly play one side. Don't get me wrong, play the game how you feel best, whichever role gives you the best experience, stick to it, but I firmly believe that if you don't have a solid split between the two, say at least a 40-60, then you probably need to stay out of balanced discussions. Voice your concerns if you must, but don't claim to know how things work from the other perspective. Sounds harsh and gatekeepy, but be honest with me. Would you want someone who's never worked as a truck driver coming in to tell a truck driver why driving a 35,000 to 80,000 pound vehicle is actually so easy and they could totally do it? Or would you rather a truck driver who's had experience both as a trucker and driving a regular car tell you the pros and cons of both and how they work? Maybe the analogy's a bit off, but you get my point. I was on the Dead by Denny's Grand Slam Sandwich subreddit the other day, which is an absolutely awful place. I don't recommend it, but sometimes I like to troll for video ideas, and I saw a post from some guy showing how faster than light, dumber than shite, I mean, made for this, is a dumb fucking perk, and the comment section was filled with copium huffing shit for brain survivor mains falling over each other to claim how perfectly okay and balanced the perk was. It was absurd, and when I made my point about how the perk is dog shit and how the problem isn't necessarily haste stacking, but more of how free perma haste is the actual problem, there were idiots responding to me there still completely missing the fucking point! Sorry, but I finally figured it out, viewer. After absolute ages of trying to figure out why so many people in the Dead by Haylights on a Lifted truck community seem so obnoxious when it comes to balance discussions. It's because all you fuckers want is free wins. Yep, it took a long time, but everything wrong with the commentary in this community, from balanced discussions to playstyle philosophies and even guide content, is that too many people ask for free wins in this community. It's uncanny, and I've never seen anything like it. A great example of this is to just listen to the way that people talk about counterplays. Let's look at killers first, because I don't want you all to think I'm only anti-survivor here. Killers will complain about things like Sabo, flashlights, pallet saves, body blocks, protection hits, and God knows what else. Not talking about the frustrations with them, actual legitimate thinking that these kinds of things are toxic or horrible, and if you do it then you're a bad person some fucking how, and that it's just not fair that survivors can have multiple ways to survive. Some killers outright proclaiming, just let me hook them. And I know this because that's a line that I fucking said back when I was new and stupid. But there are some of you killer mains out there who have way more hours than I do still saying this kind of shit. And I've seen a lot of killer mains calling for every type of attempt to like win the fucking game on the survivor side toxic. I've seen killers complain about how exit gates only take 16 seconds. Bro, the team just spent like 9.5 minutes completing every gen. The least that can be done is the exit gates can open in a timely manner, for fuck's sakes. I've seen people complain that the survivors won't let them get their adepts. Just a constant begging for a free win over and over and over and over and over again. Survivors, I didn't forget about you, you little fucking shit brains. I get being frustrated at tunneling and camping because, to be completely honest, even when it happens to me, as much as I can take it in stride because fuck it, right? GG, go next. It still can get a little infuriating. But sometimes, not all the time, sometimes these things have to be done. Like, for example, let's say there's a 1 gen left. One dude on death hook and he's getting unhooked now. He's the only one injured, everyone else is healthy. The best play in this situation is to get him out of the game as fast as possible so you can confirm that kill and hopefully get another guy on hook so you can either confirm that second kill or have a stationary singular goal for the end game. Oh my entity, that's another thing. The most common salty comments I get as a killer main and streamer is people bitching because I had the audacity, the sheer brass balls, the fucking cojones to camp the hook once the exit gates are powered, with survivors outright telling me the absolute unhinged shit like, if you can't get a kill before the gates are powered, you should just let that last person go. Let them go! For fucking free! Survivor mains will take flip-flop, boil over, unbreakable, camp top floors of main buildings, then wonder why the killer leaves them slugged. Last night I was playing a Myers game, farming the man in the bush achievement, and I had a Michaela down on a pallet. On one side of the pallet was a Meg with a flashlight, ready to melt my retinas out my skull, and on the other side was a Claudette, ready to drop the pallet on my head. I wasn't about to give them a free save, so we spent a good 2 minutes in a standoff, in which time the slugged Michaela DC'd, then fucking waiting till the game was over, and called me an asshole for not picking her up and just handing the save to the 2 survivors. It goes beyond arguing about playstyles though. Have you ever seen some of the buff suggestions this community makes? I once saw a killer main claim Pentimento should be able to be rekindled again and again and again, or that Starstruck should be permanent until the person is down. People also do this with base mechanics in the game, like the constant calls for Bloodlust to be removed. Because yes, behavior should absolutely bring back the potential for infinite loops. That sounds like a terrific, not at all dog shit idea. This one bloke I found on Twitter one day said scratch marks should be removed. Just never give the killer a way to find survivors. Make sprinting carry no risk. Excellent idea. Other communities have weird biases that lead to truly awful game change suggestions, but I've never seen a game community outright complain because the other team won't let them just win the game for free, or that the devs won't give them the free uncounterable advantages. A lot of times this comes from the fact that most games everyone has access to the same equipment and resources, so it's harder to ask for free win changes to be implemented. It's just the Dead or Alive Maximum Volleyball Tournament featuring Trapper and Kate Dennison as playable characters community that calls for this sort of shit. Combine this community's inability to pay attention to the things being said to them, their rampant attachment to their own experiences without taking in objective facts, and the other side of the coin, begging for free wins, and an overall shitty fucking us versus them attitude, and you make balance in game-related discussions a truly miserable experience. I'm still gonna make commentary videos. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ is the only thing I'm good at. Well, that and ball draining fellatio.